Right, joining me now on Inside the Tournament, Filippo Silva, tactical manager, TAC. Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much for having me. I thought you were going to say welcome to the tournament.
Well, I should say welcome to the tournament, but this is, we're not doing this for your announcement. You were announced months ago. Your team is assembling, even though you haven't done any roster announcements really. So people probably don't know the team, but I guess we can start with this the story of how you found TST and how you found your way into TST. Because how did we let you in, truthfully, is what we should be asking.
Probably should not have let me in, and you guys will regret it during the tournament. We'll get to that. During the tournament, you'll regret it, but now it's too late. I'm in. You guys can't kick me out anymore, so just deal with it. But so how do I hear about? I heard about TST in the first edition, mainly because I have this weird obsession of tracking Breck Shea, and he was playing for Blade and Grass. Was that the name of the team?
Yeah.
Blade and Grass, yes, but they didn't come back. And then last year, Breck Shea and Jeff Cameron came back with Conkefa, Pat McAfee's team. And I was talking to Jeff Cameron about the TST, I think a month or two prior to the event. And he was even seeing if he could maybe just put me in the team of Conkefa just to be there. Because I wanted to be in the event. But I didn't want to go just to watch. I want to be with the team. Even if it's not doing anything, just being there. I just want to be with the team. One thing led to another, and then Jeff Cameron connected me with you. And the idea, it was a long shot. I didn't know if I was going to actually have a team. The idea was I just want to be there. There's a team, there's something. Then we talked about it, and one thing led to another. We were able to get the team in the tournament during last summer,
Shout
and
out
then
Luke, right? Our boy
talked
Luke,
to Luke. Yes, Luke, and I talked to someone else too.
maybe Dan.
I think Dan and Luke. I think I talked to both of them. Yeah. But anyhow, we got in the tournament, and I don't think many people expected to see tactical manager in this edition.
Well, the first thing is people were pissed that you were SC instead of FC. So what did you think of that? Did you regret doing tactical manager SC instead of FC, or are you happy with the decision?
On the contrary, we're keeping it SC Soccer Club. So first and foremost, we call it soccer in America. I do speak with people outside of the U.S. and then they call it football, and I fully understand when they say football. And I lived in Brazil for a few years, and they call it futebol there, which would be like football. I think it's just called whatever you live in, wherever country you're at. That's what it's called, and we call it soccer here. I think the disrespectful part is the people that put FC. They should put SC. They should all put soccer club. And I actually did that on purpose because of that. I'm not a big fan of when MLS franchises put like FC. You're an American Soccer League. We call it soccer. And I mean, I don't see an issue with it. So no, I don't regret it one bit. On the contrary, actually.
I love it. You do not seem like a guy who has very many regrets. Um, but are you regretting joining TST yet?
No, not yet. Not yet. Not yet. We'll
Well,
see. I don't think I'll regret it regardless of what happens there. I don't think I'll regret it. It's been a lot of work. It's been a lot. I'll tell you that. Once I joined in, I didn't think it would be this much work. And then when you're recruiting players and then you start talking about guys, let's say based in the US, and then you find out that's like this team is like offering them this, and that. It's like, holy crap, I didn't know it was going to be this hard to get the players. But somehow we managed to build a very good roster, at least on paper, obviously, for the very first time we're playing the TST with a much lower budget than certain teams, with less things to offer besides myself, right? Just being in my team, people love that. So that's probably why they're joining in. But it was a lot of work. If I start, and also the logistics, right? Of just figuring out guys are coming from Brazil, guys are coming from a different state in the United States, and having to put everyone together. We even have a training camp coming up. We're going to have like a whole week training before we head up there here in Florida. So it's been a lot more work than I expected. And I guess I started to respect a bit more people that are in charge of professional clubs, even though they definitely have much more help than I had, right? They have a whole team behind them and a bigger budget. But regardless, it's pretty tough to manage all these people.
well, your group that all these people that you're talking about are going to have to play. You got hashtag United, which is not only are they a great team, but they're the kings of talking the talk and walking the walk. So I'm anticipating some trash talk between you and those guys on social as
We'll
we
be
get
walking the
closer.
walk, though. They never went past the round of 16.
That's still pretty good at TST.
But that sounds like just. But if you talk trash, you got to go further.
True. But then you also have Pasha Luxury, FC, who filled with former Premier League guys, and then you have Tobacco Road
They might have had to put the
FC,
FC. They might have put the FC there just to appeal to the players they have. That might be why.
and then Tobacco Road who's back again, and they're like they're a buttoned up, legitimate, actual team. So you're in a group that is tough, and in TST, really every group is the group of death because every team is good. But this is a tough group right here. What do you think of your group? What did you think when you saw it? And how do you feel, a week or so later?
Well, the first thing I told the players was this: the TST group stage draw and everything can be very tricky because you could literally land in a group with four title contenders because there's no actual seeding. There's no metric for that, right? You could be in a group. I mean, I'm sure you guys wouldn't put like La Bombonera and Nani, the two finalists from last year, in the same group. But La Bombonera last year was their first edition, correct? So
Yeah.
you could literally land in a group where the top four teams are in the same group. What I will say is there, like you said, there are no scrubs in the TST. Every team is tough. But I also told the players when the group came out, it's like, listen, guys, if we can't get out of this group, then we never had a shot in winning the tournament. So it doesn't really matter. We got to get out of this group. They're all tough opponents, and you should respect them. And we got to prepare individually for each one. They have different skill sets. Like you talked about Pasha, they have a lot of former Premier League players, EFL Championship players. So these guys are veterans. They know how to play the game. Some of them played last year, right? So they even have TST experience. So that's a very tough opponent. Tobacco Road FC, they probably have a lot of chemistry, right? These guys are practicing day in, day out together. They played the TST before. Hashtag has good chemistry. So we're going to have to overcome all those adversities when we're facing this team. But at the end of the day, I don't even know if we're going to mention some names from my team here. We could mention a few names. We have a lot of talented players in the team proven at a very high level at Foot 7 and at Field 11. So as at regular 11v11. So if we put these guys together and the team gels, we can match up with any of these teams that are in the group. I'll put it this way, I'm not really concerned about any of them. I think that if we are to lose to them, it's on us. These are not teams. We're not playing Messi, right? If we're playing Messi, I would be like, okay, guys, let's just try not to lose by a lot.
Well, what if you were playing Aguero?
That's not Messi. But again, Aguero would be more of it would be an honor to play Aguero. I'll put it that way. It would be an honor to play like a legend, even though I'm not a big fan of Argentina. It would be an honor to play Aguero. And I know I've heard this. Aguero last year struggled a lot, right? He got knocked down in the group stage. I heard he's building one heck of a squad this year.
Yeah,
So
he's not effing around this year.
I would not underestimate Aguero's team this year like last year. That's what I heard.
Well, for you, so you talked about the group. You're not scared. Outside of the group, we just talked a little bit about Aguero. Seeing the full field now released, seeing the groups, anyone could play anyone once you get through group play. You could even end up playing hashtagging group play and then hashtag in the championship. Like anything can happen. But who would
Wait,
you?
they're gonna get passed around to 16 this
No,
time?
I'm just saying. I'm just saying. You know what I mean. Of the field, who are you like, ooh, I would want a shot at that team, or I would want to play those guys, or I would not want to play those guys?
So I'll put it this way: not want to play, I'll play anyone because if you want to win the tournament, you got to beat whoever's in front of you. So in terms of like, well, I don't want to play this guy or that, it's like no, we got to play anyone. That's why when I talked about the group, when I said I'm not concerned about any of the team, well, yeah, I'm not concerned about any of the teams. It's because like whoever you put in front of us, we have to beat if you want to win it. So I can't be concerned about any of the teams in the group. We have to come in and try to beat them. Teams that I would love to face, there are three specific teams that I would love to play, not because I think we have high odds of beating them. It's just personal reasons. And I'll give you each one. One, I would love to play Conkefa. I would love to play against Breck Shea and Jeff Cameron. They're great guys and just be awesome to play against them, regardless of the result. Conkefa would be awesome to face. Second one would be Quick Goal. I would love to play against Quick Goal. Fabio's in the team, great friend of mine. It would be awesome to play Quick Goal. I know a few other guys that they have there, Rafa Araújo up top that played last year. So playing Quick Goal would be amazing to do. They're going to be a very tough team too, but it would be a tremendous game. And some of my guys in my team know their guys. So it'd just be a very fun game for
They're
everyone.
my they're my sneaky, and I'm sorry to cut you off. They're my sneaky pick this year because like Last year I think they lost in the round of 32, but people forget that like they played their full team the night before at like 1 o'clock in the morning because there was a rain delay. And they were 3-0 in group stage. Giovinco was unbelievable. And they were just like beat when they got to the knockout rounds. And it was because they played this super, super late night game because of the rain. So no one really talks about them as like the team to win just because Newtown made it back to the semis. And you obviously got Goncafa in the mix with McAfee and Nani's back and the Indiana team. Like all the teams who made it far are back. But they're the team that's like, if they don't have that rain delay and they just get a full night of sleep, who knows what happened last year.
Well, and on top of that, so now that you mentioned the rain delay, if there's any rain, my team will play.
Okay.
Okay, we'll play on the rain. We don't want to play at 1 a.m. A lot of them live here in Florida. It rains every day, so we'll play on the rain.
I think it was
I'm not
thunderstorms. There were frogs running around the field. It was not able to be played at the time.
that that sounds fine with us. We'll play. Just I mean, look, just schedule our game, and if the other team doesn't want to play, just give us the 3-0 win. Okay, so we'll play with frogs, thunderstorm, gators, whatever you want. We'll play. But to your point there, the third team that I really wanted to face at some point was Aguero's team. Mainly because, I mean, no disrespect to Nani, that would be also another legend to face, but it would just be an honor to play against Aguero's team, regardless of the level of the teams. They're going to be incredible. They're going to be not as good like last year, whatever. Just playing Aguero's team would be something special. So I'll put those. Now we talked briefly. If you want me, I can mention a few guys from our team, mainly because just to say how our team is also coming in. Like I'm not a player, just so people understand. We're bringing like legitimate players. Like right now, hopefully, knock on wood, no injuries. Everyone's fine. Everyone's healthy. You can look at the TST website. We have Leandro Damião up top. That was a Brazilian national team forward that just recently retired. He retired like, he announced his retirement like 3 weeks ago. Um, MVP in the J League in Japan, scored a lot of goals in Brazil, a big time forward. We have many other good players that have MASL experience, which that seems to work very well in the
Mm-hmm.
TST. MASL guys seem to adjust very well to the TST. Another notable name that is coming from Brazil. He's not big in like he never played professional 11v11, but he's a big name on the 7v7 world. He played for the Brazilian national team. I think in 2015 or 14, he was the best player in the world, 4'7", more experience now than ever, but still, you don't lose the quality, right, that you have, regardless of your age, at age 35 or so. So in Vruki, that's another one coming. But we have guys that played MASL, and the team is really good, and some guys that also play professionally in Brazil. It's a competitive team, but it's all about getting them to gel, build good chemistry before the tournament. And
Training camp.
once that's done, I'll be sending my thoughts and prayers to every single team we face before we face them. Before we face. So the first one right there is Pasha. And because they put FC in their name, that's the first one. So we can send thoughts and prayers to them. They're going to be playing Tactical Manager in the first game. We're going to be well rested. And good luck to them. Good luck to them. We're going to play. Also, all those British players, I wonder how they're going to play on the 7v7.
They've
Because,
all played and they've all been really good.
okay, hopefully they're not good this time. Hopefully they're not good.
Yeah.
We'll see. We'll see. It'll be a good game.
I got a question for you. Brazil and USA playing the World Cup final. Who you cheering for?
2026?
Ever.
I mean, I think it depends on each World Cup. I think 2026 is in the US, so it has to be the US. No
Okay.
question. Like I've said this, people have asked me this before. I said in 2026, it's all about how the US can go and how far they. Obviously, after the US is out, I want Brazil to win the World Cup. If we get knocked out, I mean, definitely the US are not among the favorites to win it. That's for sure. But no, 2026, it's all about the US, especially because for us that live here, how far the US goes can be a game changer in terms of like how this sport is seen among casual sports fans in this country, right? They see the women's team be very successful, but the men's team not. Now, if the men's team can pull off like a semifinal run, get a third place, or just something special, it can change the way the casual sports fan sees soccer in America. And that's a game changer for my YouTube channel. That's a game changer for the TST. That's a game changer for our soccer culture here. So 2026, the United States, no questions asked, regardless of where they play Brazil and when they play Brazil.
Can you still hear me? My camera's bugging out.
Yeah, I can still hear you. Your
All
camera's freezing, but I can hear you.
right, we'll power through it. Um, maybe we'll wrap it up because my camera's bugging. As we get ready for TST, do you have a final message to players, teams, clubs that are not tactical manager on what you guys are coming to do and what your plans are?
I'll put it this way: I would not want to play my team. You talked about being concerned about some opponents here and there. I would not want to play the team with the players that we have and what we built. So I mean, if you guys think this is just a YouTube channel coming in, it most certainly is not. That's what I'll tell everyone. Just be concerned about that if you're going to play us. And I hope to go very deep in this tournament, man. Hope to go very deep. I know winning it is tough, and I watched the games last year. These are incredible teams, especially when you go to the quarterfinals beyond. The teams were incredible, all of them. So that's it. We build a very tough team. It's the first time we're going to play. I have to see how I adjust the target score. That's a whole different ball game. I have to learn how to do that properly. And one thing is the theory, right, of thinking of how to play it. The other one's how we actually do it when time comes. And we've seen also incredible teams like Desimpedidos get knocked out in the group stage, right?
Yeah.
Teams that were very good that you look at as like, hey, they can win this, and grouped out of nowhere. And then you see like the Indiana team that was probably expected to not do well make it to the semifinals and play very well every single game. That was a really good team. So respecting every opponent, but I'm not afraid of any opponent. I'll put it that way.
I love it. Well, I appreciate you coming on the show. We'll definitely connect and have our trash talk session number 2 on site in Cary.
Most certainly. I think a few teams will hate me, and if we go far, it's gonna get ugly.
Sounds good. I love it, man. Talk soon.